Well, hi everybody. It's Stacy Keldall, and I'm solo for right now. Woody is in Tucson. He's off tonight. I think Dawn is coming. Just not sure where she is right now. There's a cat right behind me. I have many of them because I'm a cat lady. So there's four total. So I want to welcome you to the QB show. It's July 28th, 2015. And I'm going to start the show off. We have a great guest tonight. It's our friend. She's not just my friend, but it's our friend Meredith Wood from Fundera. And so she'll be on in just a little bit. And first, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do our sponsor stuff. And so I want to thank, first of all, our very first sponsor ever. They've been with us pretty much since the beginning, which is Skyline Cloud Services. So there's a cat. If you don't know about the cat thing, whenever you see a cat, whatever you have in your hand, you take a drink of it. I happen to have a little bit of ice water. Apparently, I have an echo, so hold on one second, and I'm working on my echo, so hold on right now. We'll work on that. So not much I can do about echoes. We'll see what's going on. Hopefully we can work on the echoes. Again, I'm here by myself, so we're going to see what's going on. So anyway, Skyline Cloud Services, you may know them as unidatait.com. We love them dearly. They do QuickBooks and other software hosting. But thank you for the heads up in my chat about the echo. So hopefully the echo goes away. Anyway, Skyline Cloud Services, they do hosting, just amazing. I don't know what I would do without them. So all of our desktop clients are on Unidata Skyline Cloud Services hosting. So we've got that going on. I'm really excited about that. Again, they've been with us almost from the beginning. Love them dearly. Wouldn't be able to survive without them, especially since I work on a Mac. And I say that like you guys can see my command center here, but you can't. I have a 27-inch iMac and a big 27-inch Thunderbolt display with it. So I have two Big Macs. Haha! Anyway, so to join the chat before I get into the rest of the sponsors, I want to let you know if you go to NURPH, which is NURPH.com, all you have to do is log in with your Twitter account. It's really easy. My suggestion is don't try to do it on the same browser tab that you use to watch the show. It's easier to watch the show in one page or one tab and then log into the chat in another tab and just have them side by side. That's what I do. I have the Google Hangout in one screen and then I have the NURPH in the other one. So that's what I do. And I just rip the tab off. So the rest of our sponsors are, we have Avalara. They should be on in the next couple weeks. They do sales tax tracking and they do an amazing job of it, and they integrate with both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online. So we sort of love them. They're pretty badass. We have tsheets.com. They do online time tracking. What's super sweet about them, not only do they have an amazing customer service and support team, but you can have your employees, or you, if you choose to use them, you can actually log in online with the web browser. You can set a specific computer in your office, a specific IP address, so you can really limit where employees can log in. You can have them clock in via Twitter, via their text message. It's actually really cool. So they also integrate with QuickBooks Online as well as QuickBooks Desktop. And then we have QVinci. Love QVinci. So you can combine and connect as many QuickBooks files, basically, whether it's QBO or desktop or a combination thereof. And you can sort of map the accounts, so you can roll all of, if you have 300 QBO accounts, you can, and they have 600 income accounts between those 300, you can roll them all up so that they show into one income account, and then you can have QVinci send you reports every day if you want. I love that. So it's combined reporting, works really great if you have multiple entities or if you're maybe a franchise, great solution for you as well. And then tonight we have Fundera. So Fundera helps you or your small business clients, if you're a small business, which I am, you get funding. So it connects with your QuickBooks Online account and it pulls your data out, and then it tells you you would qualify for all of these different, oh, I saw Dawn for a second and now she's gone. I don't know where she went. But then it tells you that you qualify for a certain amount. There she is again. I see her back. So we'll bring her on in just a sec. So Fundera tells you all the different small business loans that your company would qualify for. What's up, Roland?
Sorry about that.
It's all good. And so, so hang on, I'm almost finished with sponsors. And so then it tells you what you qualify, what you might qualify for, and you can kind of compare them. And then they sort of hold your hand. They virtually hold your hand and walk you through the process. And you have sort of I don't know, someone who shepherds you. They really hold you like a little baby. They cradle you like a little baby through the process. I mean, they do. It's amazing. It's an awesome process. I went through it. You did. And here's the deal. The way that we pick our sponsors, we're super, super snotty about it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say it. I used to say we're really picky, but here's the deal. I think we're kind of snotty about it. We only choose, the three of us, we either have to actually use the product or service, or we have to actively recommend it to our clients, or we just really have to love it. So if Dawn and Woody and I all don't agree that we love it and think it's an amazing solution, if we don't actively recommend it either to our clients or to other accounting professionals or to anybody that runs a business or whatever, then we really don't, we don't even entertain having them come on as sponsors. So we're super, I would say picky, but I'm gonna say we're a little snotty about it. So if you don't have a good product, we really don't generally talk about you on the show, first of all, and then second, we're definitely not going to come and ask you to be a sponsor. So those are our sponsors: Avalara, T-Sheets, Fundera, Skyline Cloud Services, aka UnidataIT.com, and then QVinci. So super badass. If you go to our website, please click those links. Dawn, how you doing, girl?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm so sorry.
Hey,
shit
happens, girl.
A mole. It was a disaster.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
All good. And you know what I'm using? I just want to say this. My MacBook, I installed something that ruined it, I would call it. So right now I'm using the Chromebook that you and Richard bought me.
Okay, well, you're gone right now. I think we lost you a little bit. So she'll be back. Dawn will be back. So I'll just kind of chit-chat until M. Wood comes on. She should be on here in a couple minutes. I'm just Stacy, and I own Kill All Services, Stacy K Academy. There's Dawn. We're going on to, I believe, our fourth week. Fourth week, I was just saying, we're about to do fourth week of Stacy K Academy. That's on Thursday.
Sorry.
Hey, it's all good. You know what?
Moved it.
Well, you don't. I guess you don't want to move it.
Don't move it.
Yeah.
But this is from like 7 years, 6 years, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Maybe 2, 3. I think it's maybe 3.
We're like 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm using the Chromebook right now because the Mac is broken.
What'd you do to the Mac?
I don't know. I downloaded some OX something or other. I don't have no idea.
Oh, did you download the new operating system?
Probably.
Okay.
So I was like, crap. So I grabbed the Chromebook and I'm like, I gotta get on. And then it was trying to pick up the wrong network. So then there's that.
That's all good.
Good. It's good stuff.
It's okay. So I have a couple questions before M. Wood comes on. I have a 401k question. Do you want that one?
Oh, of course I do.
Okay. So you ready for it?
Always.
All right. How do I adjust an entry for a 401k plan ACH debit expense to the balance sheet? So here's the question, and I don't know if you've seen this, because just so that you guys know, if you don't, we have basically a production doc or a show doc, and we list all of our questions, and we have a question bank that we draw from, and so we haven't asked this one yet. So the question is, employees' deduction and employers' matching contribution are reported on the balance sheet.
Right.
Only employer's contribution is reported on income statement.
Correct.
Every pay cycle, there is an ACH debit of expense account for the 401k for total deduction and contribution. How should I record this for bank reconciliation purposes? If I record the expense and leave the accounts on the balance sheet, then doesn't it mean I paid the actual expense, but still the liability is on the balance sheet? Should I do a journal entry to offset them, or record the expense separately and leave the balance sheet account of 401k? How? Please help me, Dawn Brolin.
I know, it's so nice. So the biggest question I would ask is, how are you tracking the 401k? If you're using, I don't know, I would say, okay, so I'm going to do the desktop version, enhanced payroll or assisted payroll. So typically, or QBO, online payroll, is likely calculating that for you. And even if it's Intuit full service payroll, calculating it for you. And it's probably CAT and probably coming into your accounting software properly. So of course the employee portion is an expense to the business, which by the way is a wonderful, wonderful perk if you are in a company who pays to match your 401k, simple plan, whatever retirement plan you have, and they're matching for you. Please say thank you.
Yes.
That'd be number one. Okay. So other than that, the liability account on the balance sheet is typically being affected when there is an accumulation of the 401k. So if you're an employer, it's gonna be a credit to the liability, a debit to the expense. If they're an employee, then they're gonna obviously credit their liability and debit the expense of the gross wages, and they're deducting and so on and so forth. So it's kind of a big conversation is what I would say.
Yes.
So the question though is, how do you do a journal entry to offset it? And the important thing about that is to know initially, how is the information getting into your accounting system? So if it's not getting in there at all, again, we're going to rabbit hole. Woody's not here, so we can. That's the great thing about Woody not being here, because he would reel us in.
He would.
Oh.
He would.
He'd be like, Brolin, no.
Yeah.
But if let's just use one employee. They have like $1,000 gross pay. They have a deduction from their own pay of $100, and the employer is matching $100.
Right.
Here's an expense for the $100 for the employer, and there's a $100 liability for the employer. So we have also the employee's deduction. And so what is the entry was the question, and that's complicated only because we don't know how the origination of the entry is happening.
Right.
But it still comes back down to the debits and credits.
Yeah.
In my opinion, obviously. And I think that unless we know more information, we can't really tell them, except that if you pay the check, you have to debit the liability, of course, if you're paying the liability to the 401k.
Right.
It's a long question. It's a long answer. I apologize.
Hey, no, it's okay. It's all good.
Question.
Well, it is too, and you don't know how they're you don't know who's processing their payroll. Are they processing their payroll? Are they doing it kind of after the fact? I mean, you don't really have any idea.
Right. Or are they
what's going on?
Paying the payroll liability check outside the system? There's no
Exactly.
automation, which we encourage automation. That's what we do here. We talk about technology.
You do? Yeah, I avoid that.
No, I hate technology.
I'm just kidding.
Me too. I'm going to ask you a question, though.
Wait, I have one. It's the very first one. I hope it's that one that you're that I have highlighted. Do you see it?
Yeah. I'm asking you a question.
Okay, that's the one I want you to ask me. Because I want to call out the person that asked that question to me.
Well, okay.
Okay.
So as a QBOA user,
yeah, baby,
can I input bills and bill payments in QBO? I'm looking over here because that's where the question is.
Right.
Can I print to my client's printer at his location?
So the answer is yes and no.
Wait, though, stand by. Q number 2. If so, how do I set up the printer to do it? Answer?
No, don't.
Kidding.
Okay.
Love you.
I know.
I love messing with you.
I know.
So
okay. So first of all, I have to call this out. So the person that emailed me this,
Good question.
She's adorable, and her name is Carrie Johnson. And
nice.
She says she emailed me 6 days ago to be exact, and she said she enjoys listening to the podcast. So she's actually going back right now and listening to all of our old audio podcasts.
I love that.
She hasn't even got, like, she's like doing her homework, which this is what I love. So she's actually listening to the show, and she hasn't even gotten to this yet. And so I told her I would mention this on the next show. So she says, first I want to read the email. She says, I enjoy listening to your podcast. However, I'm behind quite a bit since I'm a new listener, which I want to put her in my pocket and just bring her right home. And I see you, M. Wood, and we'll bring you on as soon as I get done answering this question. So hang on one sec. So she says, today I haven't heard anything about remote printers, and I thought I'd ask you directly. So she asked this question, and her name is Carrie Johnson, and she's with Evans, Pingleton, and Howard, and this is in Frisco, Texas. So near Dallas. I believe that, right? That's near Plano, right?
Wicked hot.
And Wood knows Frisco is kind of near Dallas, right? It's near Plano. Okay, all right, so I was right. Yay me. I know a little geography. Okay, so the deal with this is if you want to print remotely through QBOA, the answer, you can't just do it. So if I'm logging in remotely to someone's computer, I can obviously print to whatever computer or whatever printer is attached to their computer. I could also, if you're going to want to set up Google Cloud Print to do this. So this is I would just say it's really hard to kind of explain how to do this. So what I want to do is really just sort of show you guys really quickly.
Screen share.
I'm going to do a screen share because I want to show you. I actually have a printer, and you guys can see it. It's right behind me, right behind all my awards right here. It's hidden behind all these awards. that no one sees. The reason I call them out is because no one sees them, because no one comes to this office except my cats, okay? No, you have an office that your clients come to. No one comes to my office except for my cats and my kids. So this is one of my printers. So I am going to, let me just get in here. Hold on one second. And show this. So I'm going to do my screen share because I don't want to show you my print jobs, but what I want to do is show you my nice. That's the thing I think I want. I want to share that out. Okay, so there we go. All right, so you guys can see this. Here's my nerve. All right, so this, I'll bring this up and I'll make this a little bit bigger. So this is Google Cloud Print. So you can see this right here is my printer at home. I can also save it to a Google Drive. So if I didn't want, or I couldn't, didn't want to necessarily print it actually and leave it on my client's printer, I could actually print it and save it to the Google Drive, and then I could share it out with my client. That would be one way that I could do this. The other thing is this actually is a client's printer. So I have one client that I go out to every 2 weeks. It's my very first client that I ever had, and I go print checks for him every 2 weeks. So I open his mail and I print everything out, and I've been doing that for almost 12 years now. And so this is his printer. So if I wanted, I could actually print something from my house to his printer. And then this is another little printer that I have that's not connected to anything. So I would say use Google Cloud Print. So I just go to the Googler and look it up, and then it'll tell you how to set that up, and it's actually quite easy to do. I would say if it's a printer that you're going to have to print remotely to, you want to be in front of it to make sure that it works the first time that you set it up. So that is one way that you can print remotely if you're using QBO with your clients. So that is how you would print remotely using QuickBooks Online, which is using Google Cloud Print. So, M. Wood, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I can totally hear you. I can absolutely, positively hear you.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, but you look so nice.
Oh, thank you. You just can't tell I'm very sweaty.
It's okay. You're glowing. You're absolutely glowing.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. So for our audience who may not know who you are, would you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, absolutely. My name is Meredith Wood. You might hear people referring to me as M. Wood, if you didn't put that together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
And I'm editor-in-chief at Fundera. Fundera is a member of apps.com. We integrate with QuickBooks, but most importantly, we are a marketplace for small business loans. So if you or a client needs a loan, instead of going lender by lender by lender to find the lowest cost loan for your business, you can go straight to Fundera, use one application, and apply to 25 plus of the best lenders that are out there. And we're talking everything from SBA loans to shorter term loan products or invoice financing companies as well. And I work specifically with our advisor channel, and I also run all of the content that Fundera produces. So anytime that you're on our site, you'll see we have a ton of articles. Stacey just had one out today on some recent QuickBooks updates. So I'm also doing all that over there.
Yeah,
that's who I am.
I just posted that to the Twitters, and I just posted it also to Facebook.
I saw that. It was a good one.
I had fun with that one. I have fun with all of them. I'm having a lot of fun with the one that's coming out for September.
Nobody has seemed to find the Easter egg in that post yet, so I feel like we should give a prize to somebody that finds the Easter egg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, maybe if somebody watching the show finds it, we'll send them a little Fundera package.
Do you want to give a hint?
No. Okay. Like, all they have to do is read the article and look at the images.
I know.
And you will find it.
I know. I had fun with that one. Okay. All right, that was a good one. All right, so I have a question is, how are things at Fundera? How are things? How's business?
Things, they're great. So I think something else for those that don't know much about Fundera is that we're also like a little baby company. We're only about 1.5 years old, but it's been an amazing 1.5 years. I think there's so much traction in this space right now, and people really understand what we're doing, and obviously the customers see the benefit. So 1.5 years in, we've done over 900 loans and funded over 50 million. And so that's just really phenomenal when you think about how. John, is that a question?
I was funded.
Oh, John was one of those. She was 45 of the 50 million. No, I'm just kidding.
Raise your hand.
She was 49.5 of the 50 million.
Yeah, so if you need money, call Dawn.
Oh,
so I think that like the reason that those numbers are important is because when you think about summertime, it's usually actually very slow for business, but it's been quite the opposite here.
It's been opposite for here too. I agree.
I think it's indicative of a lot of things. Small businesses are winning, they're doing better, and they're in a position where they can borrow. So it's an exciting time. It's a busy time, but an exciting time.
Yes, I agree. That's really cool that you guys have funded. I mean, you guys kind of like exploded. I mean, you guys are really super, super busy. And I think part of that, which sort of is a nice segue into the next question I have for you, which was like your dev ball, right? Which was scaling new heights. How was that for you guys? I know
Yeah.
I personally felt like you guys had
The best booth.
the best booth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was kind of awesome because it looked like the friends. I'm going to see if I can find my picture that I posted up while you're talking, and then I'll maybe do a little screen share while you
Pretty awesome.
go ahead and you talk. And you tell us about scaling.
Absolutely. So yes, that was in fact our Deb Ball. I love that you said that because I am from the South and was in fact a Deb. Interesting fact that I left out of my bio. Oh yes, but let's not talk about that. So scaling was our first time to sort of get in front of it, accountants, advisors, bookkeepers, pro advisors, and hear their feedback on our product and what we're doing with advisors and talk about their situations. And that was what was so cool. But the most interesting thing was finding the kind of common thread in the conversations. So, for example, the one thing that I walked away with, so I mean, if you've been to scaling, if you haven't been to scaling, you need to go. But you are just talking to hundreds and hundreds of people who all relate on so many levels. But the one thing that I probably heard 25 plus times was from people that, whether they're a pro advisor or whether they were a CPA, that had a client that they work with regularly that went out and found a loan online and they're paying like 30% APR or higher, and then they come back and tell their accountant, their pro advisor, that they took out this loan and just start, whether it's adding it in the books, whether it's just part of conversation. And the accountant's sitting there going, I'm sorry, how much are you paying for that loan? Because they know their customer. They know what kind of financial position they're in. First of all, if they're affording an accountant in the first place, chances are that they should be in a position to qualify for a much lower cost loan. So the accountant had no idea the client needed financing. They weren't part of the decision at all.
Right.
And then they're there at the aftermath. They're hearing their clients say, I did this, and the client doesn't even realize how bad it is, but the accountant gets it because they know they could have gotten something better. And so I think that was what was so neat to see, is people really understood why the Fundera Advisor Program was important, because it's about proactively letting your clients know that they should come to you if they even have a question about where to start the financing process. Because simply even by just making a suggestion to them, you could save them thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I agree.
So
and
it was crazy.
And what's really cool, what I like, is the fact that you guys have an advisor program. So you get a link, like I have a link, Dawn has a link. We can have our clients click on that link, go through the process. We can either get sort of, a referral fee or commission, but what I love about it, and this is what I tell my clients, if you want, you can go click on this link, but that 1%, I'm going to flip back to you so you can throw it back towards the principal on that loan. And so I would much rather do that, because I don't need that 1%. I don't want to make that money off my client. For a lot of CPAs, they can't make that money. They can't take that commission. So it really kind of strengthens the bond between the accounting professional and the client, and just sort of helps, the small business. I just love that you guys do that, because you just have it built in as something that you can automatically have done, so that the accounting professional doesn't really have to worry about it.
Yeah,
I like that.
Exactly. And so just to kind of expound on what Stacy was saying, for those that are unfamiliar with our advisor program, and I highly recommend checking it out, fundera.com/advisors. It's free to join. Fundera, I think it's also important to put this in, is a free service as well for your clients.
Yep.
So there's nothing that they will have to sacrifice in the process of searching. But when you join the program, you can sort of work with us in any way you want. You can be very hands-off, where you simply send the link. You can be involved and complete the application for them or parts of the application. And now we have a thing where you can actually just send us their information, and we'll give them a call and we'll talk to them. Because what I find, a lot of clients are saying, okay, I'm interested, but I want more information before I go do it. And so we help sort of make that process seamless. And then, of course, you've got me there as well, as you rather be a part of the call, do sort of an introductory experience. We can give them, sort of set their expectations. But yeah, so for our our referral fee for the advisors is equivalent to 1% of the loan amount. So if you have a client come through that gets a $100,000 loan, that's $1,000 for you. So whether you want to add this as a service to your business and you want to start making money that way, that's one way you can do it. Or what Stacy was saying is you can take that $1,000 and we'll send it to your client as a check, and they could put it toward their loan payment. So there's obviously a benefit from signing up to the program, having that official link so we can make the connection, because it could end up saving your client $1,000 or more or less on their loan payment.
Yep, I love that. So the other thing that I want to mention is, and I did find the picture of your booth on the Twitters, and I'm going to post that and just, I'm going to probably do that. When you leave, I'll do that because I know you have to go in about 15 minutes and I have stuff I want to talk to you about. So there's also another rumor that I need to have you either confirm or deny at this point, is that you have launched a new version of your partner portal.
That rumor is true. I got really nervous when you said that. I was like, I have no idea what she's going to say. But yes, so for those that have previously signed up for the partner program, if you just go to fundera.com/advisors and you click login, you'll be able to access your portal as usual. And if you have any issues with doing so, you can just shoot me or support at Fundera an email. But you'll see we sort of have a new experience. We've built out the portal to have to be a little bit on steroids. So again, we implemented that third way to work with us, where you can give us your client's information and we'll call them and say, you know, Dawn referred me. She said you were interested in finding a loan. Let's talk about what's going on with your business. Help give them sort of that comfort of knowing what they're getting themselves into. And we do this all the time with Dawn's clients. Now she can just automate it in the portal versus sending me an email. We also have implemented everything you need in terms of marketing. If this is something you do want to start letting your clients know that you're offering, I know a lot of accounting professionals are moving into that advisory capacity, and this is probably one of the best ways to sort of show how well-rounded you are in terms of service offerings. So we give you the logos, we give you the different marketing materials you need, whether emails to alert your clients, things, language you can put on your websites, flyers you can have in office, so kind of all those goodies. And then we've also built out an education portal, which gives you access to Google Hangouts we've done with various people in the industry, webinars we've done, articles we've written specifically for the accountant community. A lot of Stacy's stuff is in there. So if you want to just sort of on your own time be able to learn a little bit about what we're doing here, about the statistics around the industry, you can watch through those things and have access to that knowledge, so that when your clients come to you and they have questions, that you can really feel that you have the proper tools to do so and to answer them.
Oh, I like that a lot.
So,
I like that a lot.
Can I just say one thing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, thank you. I'm so.
Well, Meredith and I will let you.
I'm wicked thankful.
We'll allow it.
I'm just going to say that, but one of the things about the accounting professional is that we provide information for our clients. Of course, the more we can provide to, like, Fundera on their behalf, is wicked powerful, because they have no idea what they need to provide. They don't know how to get it. And that's our role. We're like the mediary between the client and their funding source. So the fact that we have the ability to focus in on a relationship with a funding source, of course, you know, like, I don't want to have a relationship with 16 local banks or non-local. I just want one place where I can go and say, hey, listen, this is where you're going to get your funding.
Yep.
And I understand what they want. I understand what they need. And as their accountant, I can just provide that easily. We get it. We have a relationship. And it's so much easier than having to deal with 15 different people that we don't know or understand. So.
Absolutely. You get it, girl.
She does get it. So I did find the picture and I just retweeted it, and I'm going to share it out when you're done. I just want to let you know. So you guys have the partner portal, and I'm hearing an echo, and I don't know if anybody else is, so if I'm distracted, that's why. I think it's me.
I can't hear it.
I think
it's me. It might just be in my brain. I don't know. Might just be in here.
That's very likely.
It could be. So along with the partner portal, there's something, you guys have new tools for small businesses as well?
Correct. And the reason...
Something about an x-ray? I don't know.
Yes.
That's what it is. Sounds kind of...
So I'm going to share my screen if you'll let me.
Yes, go ahead. Please do. We love screen shares.
I'm going to see you next week, Meredith.
Oh, that was going to be my next...
I don't care about your schedule, FYI.
You totally ruined my next question and my surprise.
Just pretend like she didn't say that.
It's okay, because I am jealous. It's okay.
No,
so can you guys see this okay?
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Here. Anne's over. I'm talking to Anne.
Aw, I love Anne.
I was talking to Anne. Look how cute she is.
Why did you bring her on when I can't even see my face? You're looking at my screen.
She and I are going to hang out next week. She's so cute.
So something else that we learned at Scaling New Heights was that I feel like accounting professionals have a great desire to want to be able to benchmark their clients. And that basically means, what are their chances of getting funded? I don't want to take them down a route which will be unsuccessful. I want to be able to set their expectations. And the way we sort of have been working with that, and I'm obviously still welcome to do this, is getting on the phone with them. Tell me about your client. What's their credit score? How much are they doing in sales every year? You know, how old is the business? What's their cash flow situation like? Those are kind of the 4 key questions that we start with to be able to benchmark a client. But then we also want to know other things like, you know, how they had bankruptcies, things like this. So what we've done is taken all these questions that are very important and put them into a tool that allows you or your client to go in, plug in their information, and immediately see their chances of getting funded. And if they're in a position where they maybe have a mediocre chance of getting funded or not a very good chance, we tell them what benchmark they need to get to unlock a certain loan option, and then we provide them tools for how to do it.
My fault.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I will say this. You guys are the first people that are seeing this because it isn't even officially released yet. It's very close. But so this is sort of like, this is its debut. It's debutante ball. So this right here is our business's, the business's financial x-ray. This is provided specifically, I actually filled out an application with Fundera, and now I'm viewing it. But this is a tool that you'll be able to use and view without filling out an application. It's separate. And we actually have a second functionality, which we're releasing about in 2 weeks, that'll involve hooking up your QuickBooks to keep sort of this constant stream and benchmarking of what's happening. So I'll talk a little bit more about that once you see what it looks like. So right now I see, based on the information I provided, that my business is very fundable. I can see how this is calculated. I see this is based on 4 key factors: the age of the business, the credit score, the annual revenue, and the bank balance. And then based on whatever it is, I can see what, based on my age of business specifically, is it challenged, needs improvement, it's fundable, or very fundable. But then we break those factors down more. So I see, based on the information I provided earlier, I was about 12 years in business, I was doing $300,000 a year in sales, I had a credit score of 659, and I have a bank balance of about, on average, of $5,000 a month. And I can see that my age and my revenue are really pushing me over and making me really fundable. I see my bank balance and my personal credit score could use some improvement. So I jump in there, and I see that I'm fundable, but I could get to a better point. I can see, again, where I need to be. If I want to be very fundable, I need to get to that point where I'm about $10,000 or more a month. I talk about, you learn a little bit about why this is important, why lenders care about this. But most importantly, now you can go loan type by loan type and see if there is any sort of minimum bank balance required. And you can see that there's actually not. And it's because there is no minimum hard stop. It's just more of an indicative factor that lenders look at. But I will say, if we go and we look at the age of the business, again, you see the same thing. How is it calculated? And then you can go right through and see, based on the loan type, the business age that is required. Some of them obviously don't have any age requirement, but some do. And then the same thing for the credit score. You can go in, you see, again, you know how we got to that assumption, learn a little bit about how it relates, and then you see what's the minimum score required to be able to qualify for any loan product. So you could say, oh, I really, really want to work towards that SBA loan, but right now I see that it can really only be eligible for a short-term loan or merchant cash advance, traditional term loan, or equipment financing. And then you scroll down, we have things that are specifically related to credit scores. A quick trick to get your credit score next week. How is a FICO score calculated? How much can you really improve your credit score in 1 year? How to protect your credit during divorce, and other things like that to help people really get an idea of what they can be doing to get to that next point in the benchmark level. So again, this is just version 1 that we're getting out the door, and over time you'll see right here we're going to build out these secondary factors that we'll be able to monitor, so whether or not you're profitable, whether or not you've had bankruptcy, these sorts of things. And we're also building out that QuickBooks integration where we will continuously monitor your data and let you know at any time if you unlock a new loan product. So let's say you qualify for...
Oh, that is so cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I love this.
So that idea is why I think this is important for advisors is, one, is that if you know a client needs financing and you just want to get an idea of where they stand, you can go complete this information, and with no issue, like you're not going to get a phone call, you're not going to get an email, anything. You can see what their chances are. And then the second thing is that the way I sort of envision it, and especially when we build out the integration with QuickBooks, we'll have integrations with a few other accounting softwares, and there'll also be the ability, if they want to update the benchmarks by text message, we can offer them a schedule, like how often do you want to update your benchmarks? Do you want to do it once a year? Do you want to do it twice a year? You want to do it every month? Because let's say we've got someone who's teetering on the line of a medium-term loan and an SBA loan, and they really want that SBA loan. So we can help monitor those factors and let them know when they unlock that option.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so as an advisor, you can technically encourage all your clients to hook up to the Business X-Ray and just say, so you have an idea for in the future, whatever you decide you want to do, you'll kind of know where you stand, and more so, the things you should be monitoring. So the example I use is if you have a business that's a restaurant and they are thinking about expanding to a second location, maybe not right now, maybe in a year or two, but they should hook up to the X-Ray now, because if they want to work towards the point where they can get a loan in 2 years for that expansion, they'll know what they need to work on in their business to get there.
Yeah, I really, really like this a lot. This is great.
Right.
And even if they aren't, you know what I like is this is a great tool, like even if they aren't necessarily looking for a loan, it's still going to help them be better. Like, yeah, get their shit together.
Fair. Totally fair.
Yeah, I mean, because most businesses have, like so many small businesses have no idea about any of this.
Right.
Until they do go for a loan and they find out that, oh, there's a cat. There's a really fast cat. That was Yoda. And that was Yoda, and he needed to be
Quick cat. Quick cat.
He needed to be completely someplace else immediately. So just so that you know.
There you go.
He's like our guard cat. So I'm sure there was somebody who walked in who may have smelled like a dog. That's usually why he moves so quickly.
Or he had like a carrot.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little psycho about that. So yeah, I love this. I love this tool. I think this is great. I want to do this. I want to hook my own business up to this right now.
We can make it happen.
Okay. Let me know. I want to do it.
So I was going to say, for advisors, if you haven't signed up, fundera.com/advisors, we're going to be one of the first people we let know about this.
Okay.
So you definitely want to sign up for the program if you haven't yet.
You choose.
You'll see that early release.
Camera up, because I can't see your whole face. Oh, that's
doing that on purpose.
Now I feel better.
Can I see Anne again? Now that I can actually.
Totally. There she is.
There she is. There's another cat. Let's
Look how cute
Fiona again.
We were outside with our cat. Cat was chasing a mole.
My cats don't go outside.
And then I had my BB gun out, and I was like, mole! I tried to catch it, and it didn't, so I was shooting at it. It was a disaster.
I killed a wasp. I destroyed a wasp nest yesterday.
A wasp?
Like a whole nest.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Kevin came home and said, "Did you go pick up your EpiPen? Is that why you had so much confidence in killing that whole entire wasp nest? Because you had your EpiPen?" And I said, "No, because I'm allergic to stinging things."
Anne's in really big trouble.
Yeah, so he was...
Why?
Why is Anne in trouble?
Because she has a videotape of me shooting at the mole. I didn't hit the mole. I was just threatening him.
I would like to see that, personally.
She's going to mess with me.
Okay, M. Wood. I know you were hanging out with Brolin next week. I'm gonna say I'm jealous of that. I'm both.
I understand. I'd be jealous, too.
I'll call it.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't know what that said, but okay.
Deadbolt.
Okay. All right.
Deadbolt button here. Powerful accounting.
Because I know you have to go. You said you had to leave at 8:15, so I don't want to keep you any longer than you had to. Than you said. What am I trying to say?
We got it.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. I love that X-ray thing. I think that's great. I can't. Oh, I have a bunch of clients I want to put on that just so they can see what is going on. So
Awesome.
and just so I can say, see, you should listen to me more often.
It's a told you so tool for accounting professionals.
It kind of is. It's really a nice. I'm all about passive aggressive, and and that is a wonderful way for me to be, to say without saying, see, I told you so. So, no, I'm just kidding. We actually have really amazing clients who, they do listen, and they're really great. But I do have clients who would be interested and who are in the process of saying, hey, we're about to kind of expand and we need to get ready, and so they really could benefit from this. So I am really excited about that.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I'm excited too. I'm excited that you're excited.
Woo, woo. Yep, I'm excited. Woohoo! All right, cool.
Get funded. Get them funded.
All right. So thanks, Meredith. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you.
You can come on.
I'll see you next week. Sorry.
Living in your office. The only way I'm going to get my email. Apparently.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Anna's tough on me. She's tough on me.
So, Dawn, do you want another question?
Of course I do. Are you kidding? I've been waiting all night.
So that actually is a really great tool. Oh, wait, I have to show. I want to show very quickly. I want to show the screen share. I want to screen share. I posted it on Twitter, but I also, for those of the people who are not on the Twitter, I want to do a screen share really quick, and I want to show this is the booth that Fundera had, and you can see it looks just like the Friends coffee shop.
It totally does.
Yeah, and so with the coffee mugs, and that's what the shirt was, and so really one of my favorite booths at Scaling New Heights, and so I was really excited I was really glad that we got to take that picture, although my hips are so wide in that picture.
I'm just wide in general.
I don't really want to talk about the hips on that.
I feel like
we're just gonna go right over that. We're just not gonna deal with that. Okay, so here's a good question.
Heads up.
What?
Crop it from our heads up.
It's already out there. That's already out there, and I'm just gonna leave it. So it is what it is.
In the interwebs.
It's out there in the ether, and anybody can see it. Okay, so here's my question.
I'm ready.
For you. I gotta find a good one.
Well, there's only one for me.
No, I see a great one. Here's one. The new, and I don't know if we've talked about this, new employee has a tax ID number only and no social security number yet. Are they eligible to work in the U.S.? Is it okay to hire them?
I'm not an international expert, so where's that one?
It's down towards the bottom.
Can you ask the S Corp one?
Okay. Wait. There's the S Corp. Oh, okay. Yes, I can.
No,
So
I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't read that much down. Okay, sorry.
So it's basically just wanting to know if somebody can, but we'll table that. We'll put a pin in it, or as I heard someone.
Let's go to the S Corp.
Well, no, I heard someone from Intuit say the other day, let's put it in the parking lot, which means we'll talk about that later. Which I sort of love that. We'll put that one in the parking lot, and we'll come back to that another week. So here's the one that you wanted.
Love that.
Here's what it is. Good practice to reclassify S Corp distributions to wages using advance pay at the end of the month. Here's the deal. I'm a new owner.
Long paragraph.
Yeah, it's a wall of text. So I'm a new owner/employee of an LLC with an S Corp election. And I'm wondering if it is a good or bad practice to take shareholder distributions throughout each month and to pay yourself, and then at the end of the month reclassify 70 to 80% of those distributions as wages. I researched that I could reclassify the distributions as wages by using advanced pay type of deduction on the paycheck to make the net pay equal 0, but reflecting the gross pay with all of the required withholdings.
Correct.
Is it normal for the S Corp with unstable fluctuating income like myself, or should I just switch back to sole prop for tax purposes to avoid all the potential problems with S Corp salary requirement? Thanks for any information. Greatly appreciated.
That's maybe my favorite question ever in almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years on November 20-something. But that's a great question because you know what? As an S Corp, yes, you're required to take salary, a reasonable salary, which is what we call, it depends. But taking the salary or recording the salary and not taking the wage in a check because you have no money is understandable. Offsetting your shareholder loan for the money you're potentially taking out of the business, which I understand. You're taking like what you thought was a draw as a sole prop, which I totally get. The problem I have with being a sole prop is that you're going to pay self-employment tax all day long on everything. At least as an S Corp, you have an opportunity to shelter, not avoid. Avoidance is illegal, but you may shelter your taxes or minimize your risk exposure to taxes by being an S Corp. So I would say that I think that that's a perfect plan if you don't take the actual cash because you don't have it, but you put it against your shareholder loan, which of course maybe you're likely, which doesn't make sense, but you're likely taking the money out as cash because you need money. I mean, dude, people need money, Stacy.
I'm not going to argue that.
Right?
It's true. People do.
You're taking like 2 Gs, 3 Gs, 5 Gs a month. You're trying to take some money out. You're trying to survive.
They're just trying to do a show about QuickBooks, man.
We're just trying to do a show about QuickBooks.
We're just trying to do a show about QuickBooks.
You do not want to pay self-employment tax, regardless of your cash flow, which, by the way, can be relevant, depending on your income sources or your funding sources. You want to make sure you have that covered. And I would say that it really, really is important for you to understand your tax exposure would be my answer to that.
All right, fair enough.
So, just saying.
Just saying. Hashtag just saying. Did you? In my head, I feel like you hashtagged just saying. That's how I heard it.
I did.
In my head. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
So I am gonna I'm gonna pick my own question. How about that?
Well, okay.
Or do you want to give
Can I
me
ask
one? Because, yeah, you know what, you pick one, and then I may decline it and then choose another one.
No, I'm gonna ask a question.
Okay, and like I said, I may decline it and tell you to choose another one. That may happen.
You may, like I did.
Yeah,
I did.
exactly. That may
I
happen.
totally get it. I get it. So this is funny because I had this conversation last week with a tax attorney. Is
Okay.
there a way to get a backup copy of QBO restored statement?
Yeah, we
Is
did this.
there?
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you get a copy of QBO? So let's just enhance the question a tad bit, and I'll update the doc. If we enhance the question just a smidgen, what if the IRS agent said, hey, we want to have a copy of 2013 Stacy Kildall, and
Like they just want 2013, like they would want a period copy.
but they're a QBO user.
Okay. I've done this. I've had 3 clients go through.
For users.
So there's 2 answers to this question. I'm just going to say. So 1, the way that I read this is, first of all, you can create a backup. First of all, contrary to popular belief, you
Correct.
can create a backup of QBO data. And there are 2 ways to do it. The first one is you can actually create, well, actually there's 3, because 1, you can create an XML copy, which I've never done anything with that. The second one is you can download it and you can convert it to desktop, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But the third way, and we've talked about this on the show.
Well, we probably have.
I know we have, but we've talked about it on the show, and I've done a demo of it, is Safety Net by Jobber. So if you want, you can use Safety Net by Jobber, which is an app. You can create a backup, and we've done it, and I should do another demo of it sometime. But you can connect Safety Net by Jobber. You can create a backup. You can do whatever you need to do, and then you can restore that backup. So that's one way to create a backup, which is different than what you're asking. And so I've had, in the last 8 years, I've had 3 clients go through audits that have been on QuickBooks Online, and we have been very lucky. Not every auditor is going to allow this, I will say that. We have been very fortunate. We've had great auditors. The CPA and I have talked to the auditor and said, hey, look, to help sort of keep the costs down for the client, so that this...
Huge.
Well, yeah, and so because here's the alternative. So the option is with QBO, you can have the auditor either sit down with me or the CPA and open up each individual transaction that the auditor wants to see and look at the transaction in QBO, because you don't want to give the auditor access to QuickBooks Online, because there's no way to limit by a date range.
Can we say, please don't do that?
There's no way to limit the access.
Please don't do that.
What?
We say to our listeners and our people we're teaching, please don't do that.
No, you can't. You don't want to do that, and you shouldn't do that.
So
you don't want to give that access, even if it's a report-only access. You don't want to give the auditor access to that, because you can't limit it by a date range. So what we have done is we have said to the auditor, look, we would love to just give you the period that you want, but because of the limitations of the software, we understand that you want to maintain the integrity of the software and blah, blah, blah. So is it okay if we convert from QBO to QuickBooks Desktop, and then we create a period copy for you and then give you that period copy? And we have said, we'll let you sit, and we've had the auditor sit next to me while we've done that, so they can be present and they can be witness to the process, so they can see that there's no editing of the transactions, that it is strictly just we're converting the file, we're making the period copy, and then we're sending the file along. We're uploading it to SmartVault, or however, we're putting it on a flash drive, and then we're giving it. So yes, you can do that. And I just converted a QBO file. I had a client actually come to my house today, which I never have. So my client Shelly came over to my house today, and we had coffee, and we sat out on my deck, and we converted a QBO file to QuickBooks Desktop, just because she had some stuff that they want to change around because they're making some changes to the company, and she wanted to play with it without messing up her data, blah, blah, blah. So you can do that, and that's how you can do the second option, which is give the backup. And give like a period copy. So there. So you do a lot of this stuff with the IRS. What is their, what do they think about getting that converted file?
Well, I would say just the IRS doesn't care, but my big concern is the accuracy of the data. You know, we've talked about the conversion from QBO to desktop or vice versa, and we get that. So that would be my biggest concern if you're downloading the QBO
and you're doing the conversion. You want to make sure that, and that's why when we've done it, I've done it 3 times. I've had 3 clients go through audits, and we have offered with the auditor. We said and we've had 2 of them say no, it's okay. Just give us the file. And we've had 1 say, yeah, I'll sit down with her and watch her do it.
Right.
And we're fine with it. Like, we're totally fine with it. And so what we usually do is we will print out a copy of the financials from QBO for the period, and we will print out a copy of the financials from desktop so they can see that they match and everything is date stamped. And everybody is fine. So we ask them, what is it that we can do so that you feel confident that this is as close to the original, unedited, original.
Become a bigger inquiry of the IRS, which they don't even know desktop yet. So
yeah.
Good luck with
that's what we've done. And I'm just saying, and all you have to do is ask. If you're going through an audit or your clients are going through an audit, you just ask the auditor, is it okay? We're using QBO and we want to keep the costs as low as we can for the client. So is it okay if we do this? You're more than welcome to sit down and watch us go through this process. If you don't want to do that, we're more than happy to give you a copy of the financials from both so you can see that they match. And find out what it is that they want, so you can show them that that you haven't tampered with any of the transactions and you haven't edited any of the transactions.
Yeah, it's a big conversation.
Yeah. I think that was a good question, and I didn't shut that down.
I love it. It was great.
I will talk about that all day long because I think it's a good discussion, and I think the first option, nobody knows. I think a lot of people still don't know about safety net and the fact that you can create a backup and that you can restore the backup using safety net. There's a cat. That's Yoda again. I don't know what is going on with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with him. He's very busy tonight. Whatever. So you can do that, and then when you're going through an audit, you can convert down to desktop. And again, you just have to make sure that you are using Internet Explorer, that you have a good internet connection, and that you do have to, just like when you convert from desktop to QBO, you just have to make sure that your numbers match. So
there we
go.
Yep.
There you go. I think we're good. We're past the time. We're 3 minutes up. So next week, I don't know who our guest is next week. I'm still waiting on confirmation. I'm hoping... I don't want to say, but I'm hoping that we have a guest. I'm hoping to get Joe Woodard on for sometime in August. I didn't tell you, though, did I? I've been talking. No. I just want Joe to come on and just kind of shoot the shit with us in August. Not promote anything.
Right.
Yeah, I was emailing him the other day, and I was like, why don't you just come on next month and just kind of maybe answer some questions and just kind of talk about some practice management stuff. So I might be able to get him to come on. So I thought that would be kind of fun.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have him on.
All right. Sounds good.
And Woody will be on next week, but you won't.
I won't.
Oh, and you know what? Next week, if we don't have a guest next week, is going to be all QBO because I have a bunch of stuff. We just posted a blog article about all the stuff that Woody made updated his list about all the stuff that QBO has that desktop doesn't. And then I have a list.
So you're doing a battle, like a one-sided battle?
No, it's not a battle at all. It's just like, because we don't, you're not going to be there.
One-sided conversation. I get it. It's cool.
No, it's not one-sided because it's going to be Woody Night. So it's not one-sided. You're not going to be there.
One-sided. Too one-sided, we call it.
Well, okay, but so
Ann says she's going to be on the show.
So what we're going to talk about are all the cool things that QBO has that desktop does not. Hey, Ann. And then there's another cat. There was a cat. And so the other thing that we're going to talk about is I spent 2 hours on the phone with a project manager from Intuit yesterday.
I'm going to have to bring my MacBook now.
I know. Well, I spent 2 hours on a WebEx yesterday with Tom Palfreyman from, you know Tom.
Yeah.
So I spent 2 hours on a WebEx with him just going over just stuff that people have complaints about still in QBO, and I want to just go over some of those that we talked about. And somebody in the chat room is saying, how do you submit questions? We always forget this. So you can email them. Just you can post them to, if you go to our Facebook page, you can tweet them, you can email us, show@theqbshow.com. You can email me, Stacy, at stacyk.net.
So want to wait 2 weeks until the desktop girl's back.
So yeah, so next week it's all QBO. I'm just saying. So if you have a question about desktop, it's not going to get answered next week on the 8th of August. It'll get answered the following week. But if you do have a QBO question, we'll answer it. There's a cat. There's a cat.
Cats are animals.
They are animals. Cats are definitely animals. So
nose. They're animals. Get it? Animals.
Right.
Animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go. I won't see you next week, Dawn, but I will see Woody.
I love him. I'm glad he's having a vacation.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
I love that guy.
So all QBO all the time on August 8th, 2015. So what's happening?
I'm bringing my computer. I gotta watch it. I'm watching it.
You can watch it from your phone, your Go phone or whatever it is that you're bringing.
It's my burn phone.
Your burner phone.
Killer. For 1 week.
What? Secret? Yeah. Oh, are you going dark like Jack Bauer next week? Yeah. Well, I'll be here at CTU.
Maybe I'll go to the library. I don't know.
You can do what you want.
I do what I want to do.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week. Same place, same time. All QBO, August 8th. And I just want to say Buscadan Laser.
I love you, man.
Love you more, man.
Peace.
Peace. I say Buscadan Laser. Bye. Oh, I gotta find the stop broadcast button.